Hi everybody, this is Eris, your instructor. I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you some things about the College of DuPage library site that you might not realize that will help you do your research for this coming assignment and your next assignment too. So if you go to the cod.edu and you scroll down and you go to the library, then you get this page and you could either go to research, databases, or to students too. Let's try going to research first. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is this button of Cite Your Sources. This will give you some APA and MLA information. The papers that we're writing are in MLA format. So this is some information about how to integrate those sources that you find and to acknowledge them in your paper and make sure that you're citing them honestly and you're avoiding plagiarism and all of that. But I'm going to have some more resource sources on that next week, actually. So that's something to know. And then when we're doing research, the library is a great place to start. You can look at the A to Z list. Some of my top databases that I like students to use. This is actually by subject. We want the names of them. So maybe we'll go to databases. And so these are the ones, yes, that I was looking for. So really these are the ones that we're more centered on, so general databases and current events. So Academic Search Complete is a great way to start. We'll look at that one in just a second. But I also like CQ Researcher and Issues and Controversies. These are ones that will look at current topics and they have like a bunch of resources. You might have seen in the sample annotated bibliography I posted. I had, I think it was from Issues and Controversies, I had a document there that it had all kinds of viewpoints. It was like quite long, and the nice thing about that is that you know that it's credible and that it has authors. There's people that have been checking to make sure the information is good. So these are two that I would recommend. You can log into the library. And it's much like, it has a search bar much like Google or whatever else. If you want to explore topics, you could do that too for, it just has like a list of controversies and that kind of thing. So the nice thing about this website is that it presents a lot of different perspectives, and then you can kind of make your own decision. So that's essentially what we want in our research. We want to research widely, and then later on when we're doing a persuasive paper, then we can start to figure out like, okay, how do I feel about this subject? Remember, in this stage of our project, you're really researching something that you heard about in your documentary that you were interested in or that you thought needed more information. You're not really arguing anything about it. You're more just saying like, here's some information I found and here's how I would organize it. So, but that's more structural, and again, that'll be next week. This week we're really just focused on what's our topic, can I find research on it, that sort of thing. So this is a good website for you to look at. Go back to QC or CQ Researcher is pretty similar. There's a lot of these, like topical issues, and you can also search or you can browse. So that's something that's interesting to you. And then looking at, I would recommend looking at those two first and then looking at Academic Search Complete. And this one's a little trickier to search in. But you can do, like whatever it might be, your topic search, and then really you can do a lot more once you get a few results. You get a lot of results. You would limit it to full text, which just means that you can get the article right away. And you can also limit the year, something like fracking. It really like kind of had a surge since like 2000, so I would update that. So you're only looking at that. Okay, so we still have 2,000 sources, still a lot. The next thing I would do to narrow this down would be looking at like this subject thesaurus term or like the subject terms, and these are just like words that are like taglines. It's kind of like a hashtag for the database articles. Okay, and so remember too that when you're looking at a database, this is kind of like a mini internet. It's not like the net is not cast as wide as the entire internet. It's just saying, okay, out of newspapers, book reviews, academic journals, which are like scholarly magazines essentially, and magazines, what articles mention this topic. So you're not looking at like commercial sites and all of that. So this is a good place to get some sources. You can usually trust the information because, again, there's kind of like these companies and these people that are working to make sure that the information is good and that it comes from like a reliable place. So I would recommend when you're researching for this project, you look at CQ Researcher, Issues and Controversies, and you also look at Academic Search Complete. And additionally, maybe you have a source from the internet that's an organization, so it ends in .org instead of .com, or it's a government document, .gov, G-O-V. Those are the ones that are usually more credible than .coms, but really the thing to remember is that if you have an author, a lot of times that speaks higher than if you don't have an author. That's like one of the main things, and that gets into that handout that I posted for you on what we call the CRAP test, which is something the library produced. So if you have questions, please feel free to email me, text me, call me, and I will help you walk through this process of research. And I hope you have a good day.